Tomorrow on Wild Discovery, but right now...
2 people swimming, 1 went under.
Okay, we're on a go.
To survive in the city, you need some help from above.
Always wanted to be a helicopter pilot, and I've always wanted to be a cop.
Strap into one of the most dangerous machines ever built and patrol the unfriendly skies of the most congested airspace on Earth. Choppers on Patrol, starting right now on the Discovery Channel. Next, go where some cannot. Join Air Patrol teams as they keep our unfriendly skies safe. Strap in and take off with Choppers on Patrol. Tomorrow, venture into crocodile territory on Wild Discovery, only on the Discovery Channel.
You got 3 main groups patrolling the New York skies: the Coast Guard, the New York City Police Department, and wherever the action is, you'll always find the news choppers. Flying here is like flying nowhere else in the world. A modern helicopter is really complicated technology. It's difficult to maintain and it's tough to fly, but boy, when it works like a champ.
Safety is always the main factor you have to consider, but if it's a life-saving situation, you take more risks than you would normally. Hey, there's a lot of different tools the police are using out there. It's not just the cop in the corner, it's the cop in the sky as well.
I guess I'm waiting for that day where go out there and save some lives for the Coast Guard.
I'm trying to get us clearance into some place that nobody really wants us to be, because everybody wants to be there.
Since I was about 7 years old, this is all I've ever wanted to do. I'm one of the luckiest people on earth to be able to do it now. Not too many people can get up every morning and know that they're going to work to do the exact specific job that they want to do, and this is it. I've always wanted to be a helicopter pilot, and I've always wanted to be a cop. And I get to do them both every day, so I'm very, very, very fortunate. It's probably the best view in the world. It's a view that people pay a lot of money for, and tourists are paying a lot of money to do exactly what we're doing right now, but it does come at a price. It is some pretty stressful flying, and it's some very, very busy flying, but it's definitely worth every second of it. The greatest hazard we have out here are the other aircraft we have to encounter when we're flying. Anything from a 747 to a Cessna 150, we encounter it all. And there's an ever present danger of a mid-air collision. It might be safer to actually fly lower. You are closer to the ground, which isn't always the safest thing, but your chances of a mid-air collision are greatly reduced. Normally, the least desirable spot to land a helicopter is the water. Even if you have floats, we always assume that they're not going to work. They normally do, but just to be on the safe side, we consider them not to work. But when your choice is landing in that river with nitrogen-filled floats, or on top of that building, I think I would take the river any time. What do you want now, son? Tougher points of flying over Manhattan. We checked out, or we still in the board? Still in the board. try to identify some of the major crime problems out here in the city that we can impact on, such as rooftop burglaries, fire escape burglaries, auto thefts late at night. Something like robberies at a subway station or inside burglaries we really can't do anything about, so we won't address those problems. But if it's an outside or a rooftop problem, we'll definitely address it. We've been flying very, very proactive patrols more and more over the last 3 to 4 years, and that has been the period where crime has been coming down the most. So I'd like to think we play a pretty substantial part. Every day out here we're finding new and better ways of utilizing the aircraft to control crime, now that we're starting to win back the streets.
US Air 117, New York departure radar contact, climb and maintain 15,000.
Climb 15,000, US Air 117. New departure Northwest 983, and we're out of 1,400, climb to 3,000.
Northwest 983, New York departure radar contact, climb and maintain 90,000.
Climb to 90,000, Northwest 983.
We have 3 of the largest airports in the world located within spitting distance. John F. Kennedy Airport is 5 miles to the east, LaGuardia is 11 miles to the north. Newark is 13 miles to the west. As soon as you get airborne, practically you're in someone's Class B airspace. So it requires quick thinking, not to be just talking to the right control tower, the right FAA facility, but because there's such a huge density of rotary wing aircraft here in New York City, you've always got to be constantly looking out for the other traffic. Your head is literally on a swivel.
65905, Coast Guard 411.
411, 6595, go ahead.
Roger, just be advised, we're responding to a case, Christopher Street, right on the Hudson, with a PIW in the water, over. It's confirmed that it was 2 people swimming, 1 went under, over.
Traffic 12 o'clock, 1 in high.
65905, 11.
11, go ahead.
Roger, you copy that, over?
Not the position. I need the which side of the river and where it is, basically in relation to the Intrepid or a lat long, please.
Roger, I'll get you a lat long. It's Pier 45, Manhattan. Manhattan side, over.
Yep, keep a good eye out for traffic, guys, from all directions.
The only uncontrolled airspace is low level right over downtown Manhattan. If a call comes in for the Coast Guard or the NYPD and it's right over the city, then we're basically on our own. It's literally watch the skies.
Here to get away from the PD.
We'll be there in about 2 minutes.
I lost PD, so you might be on the left side. Okay, not in sight, but people were pointing aft of us. Okay, so midway down the pier towards land. PD's at our 10 high. Okay, I'm going to slowly back down. Keep me clear, please. Roger. You're clear on the left. Yeah, you got your PD police boat running circles down here. Are you blowing everybody around? I don't know what PD helicopter is. They're right above us, 12 o'clock high. Yeah, okay.
Most pilots are wise heads on sensible shoulders, and when they're over the city, helicopters talk to each other. When you have 3 helicopters trying to occupy the same airspace, 2 of them should leave.
Channel over, it's clear.
Yeah, I'd rather do that and get out of the way.
Police coming up to our left, but they're high.
There's the second PD. Hello?
And Station New York, Coast Guard 6595, helicopter.
6595, Station New York.
Roger, we've got a PD helicopter, 3 PD boats, 2 Coast Guard vessels, and a New York Fire Department vessel on scene in this tiny area. We're blowing a lot of civilians around with our rotor wash. I don't know for sure that our services are needed with the helicopter. We're wondering what you think about that. Over.
Kilo 6595, Station New York.
Station New York 95, go ahead.
6595 station, go ahead and return to air station, over.
6595, Roger, we're released at this time, departing scene en route to air station Brooklyn.
Ready for forward flight?
33.
Ready for flight.
Break.
Okay, we're on the go.
Let's see, who do I want to talk to? D1 or activities? Hi, Chief, this is Commander King down at Air Station Brooklyn. How are you?
First.
Hey, pretty good. Got the call around Battery Park that there was a person in the water at Christopher Street Pier, so we turned around and went right back up there. We were like a minute away. Got on scene, there was already an NYPD helicopter, beat us there by about 15 seconds, and remained orbiting around maybe 300 feet. And then to top it off, a second NYPD helicopter got on scene, and they were all orbiting above. So you have an awful lot of people trying to crowd into a very small space that the absolute smartest and safest thing to do was for us to get out of there. Heck, I was concerned about running into one of the boats that was running around underneath me. You make these decisions, and doggone after each one, you sure hope you did the right thing. Okay, well, we're here for you guys. If you want us, we'll do it. Just tell us, okay? Thank you. Yeah, bye.
You guys made an arrest of a guy peddling animals on the west side today.
Every time I do it, they can suspend me. In fact, this is a quirk of New York traffic law.
Bye-bye. Good. Hey, Alan. Statsky, we're all set up on that thing we talked about last week.
So if they don't have anything else, let's start them up there and then look for traffic in Manhattan.
Then we have a horse store, we have a dog. What is this dog? We have two very separate jobs that are totally dependent on each other. I fly the helicopter, maintain a microwave link. Tom needs to concentrate on getting on the mark, getting the story.
We've got to work together, figure out where the sunlight is, figure out what's the best angle on the shot, figure out what shows the story.
Another story in Brooklyn breaking. So yeah, I'd like to go Long Island now. We're moving and see if it's any big deal. We've got an incident with somebody pinned inside a vehicle here on a local street in Brooklyn. So we're going to head over that way and check it out. See you got it. 278, 278, and we're moving.
The helicopter is uniquely suited for certain things. Picking people off mountains, spotting drug runners, chasing bad guys around the city, getting news.
I mean, there's a lot of traffic, but that's normal. It's not news. You know, you need something above and beyond traffic.
And 135 was it, Donovan? So it should be right off the top of the park.
Roger that. So what am I looking for?
Accident, car slammed into some kids there.
We got this 60-pound ball that comes off the front. It's got a camera mounted in it. This unit was originally developed off a sighting system from a cruise missile. It's got 5-axis stabilization, so that means if we roll, if we pitch, if we yaw, if we bank, essentially any axis, the nose of this camera will stay where Tom left it.
With the gyro camera, we've sat 2 miles away and we've seen accidents sitting on a runway of an airport. The camera is perfectly stable, and you're looking at a tight shot of an incident that just happened or is live in progress.
Like, so we're looking for 19 and 6'3". Ah, there we are. Great. Perfect. Ooh. Yes. Looks good. Okay. Hey, Donovan. Pin job.
Mikey, how do we stand in the block?
Tim, do you want to look 45?
I just put 1 and 23. Chopper's on 16 pitch. 21 and 23. Wait, there it is, Tim. Oh, you got that? Is that it in the machine?
It should never have been like
that. You ready? Stand by 1 sec.
Hi, Donovan. We still have on the scene here a motorcycle. Police still doing investigation. Bus still on the scene. Police still on the scene.
Let me look down again. Let me see.
You're not interested? Okay, we're out of here.
So,
we're out of here.
Yeah, unless you want to do the traffic on 34th Street.
Well, I mean,
give me a direction, any direction.
We can show the shadow of the Empire State Building or something like that.
Looks pretty lame.
Donovan's the ops manager in the control room. He's
the coordinator.
Kind of the coordinator. Also decides if what we're doing is worthwhile.
Chopper, were you talking to me?
Yeah, you. for stories. We're going around, we're looking for anything we can find, going out there, keeping our eyes on the horizon, looking for smoke.
Some days you get the bear, some days the bear gets you.
Maybe it'll get better.
This presentation of Choppers on Patrol is sponsored in part by the complete line of 1997 Lincoln automobiles. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
The 280 horsepower Lincoln Mark 8.
When you see that 2,000% a year internet growth rate, you want to just jump in. Thing is, the internet can help you gain or lose a lot of customers very quickly. If you disappoint someone, they can tell a few friends or a few thousand. It makes it crucial to work with a computer company that has experience helping people do business on the net. Not to mention the world's fastest servers, like Digital.
Digital, whatever it takes.
Don't take off the helmet, because it's not over yet. Beginning tomorrow, how do you feel about technology? How do you feel about firepower? Chopper power. Beginning tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the...
There was a time I had trouble getting around. I had to depend on others to help me. Now it feels great to have independence with my Rascal from Electric Mobility.
If you or someone you know needs the independence of affordable personal transportation, call this toll-free number for a free Rascal scooter and power chair catalog. The Rascal is easy to use with just one-hand controls. Use it indoors as a power chair or outdoors as a scooter. And Rascals are portable with a unique take-apart frame. Take advantage of our money-saving offers, easy payment plans, free test ride, and see if you qualify for medical insurance reimbursement.
Call 1-800-362-3344 now for a free, no-obligation in-home Rascal demonstration. That's 1-800-362-3344. For a free demonstration and more information, call now, 1-800-362-3344.
I love flying, but I've come to respect it a lot more. When I was on patrol, I used to see aviation. I think, oh God, that's the best unit in the world. And I used to think these guys were larger than life. You know, when I got here, I was, you know, I wasn't disappointed, but I expected Arnold Schwarzenegger and, you know, who was Einstein at the same time, a combination of the two. And then when I got here, I see that they're human. You know, they fight and they have their downfalls like everybody else. They're great guys here, but I said from being on the other side of the fence, I said I was so impressed with this place. I mean, I couldn't believe that somebody was getting paid to do this, you know.
We were the first police aviation unit in the United States. We were formed back in 1929. We were the first police aviation unit in the United States to fly helicopters. We got our first helicopters in 1948. We are the only New York City agency with helicopters. So we have a multi-function, if you will, in the city. We do photo flights for all the city agencies. We do some firefighting. We do all of the medevacs within the city of New York. We are the air-sea rescue team for the city of New York as well. And we have 2 scuba divers assigned here from the harbor unit 24 hours a day.
There we go. Now I'm done.
And Brent, tell them to give us last call, everybody out here.
It's a real close brotherhood of officers. It's rather unique, I would say. There's a closer brotherhood between aviation cops, I think, than there is in any others.
Run, Forrest, run!
There are some egos to deal with. I accept the egos because these guys are called upon to do things sometimes that are almost superhuman. We'll be sitting around here for hours just doing normal patrols, and then all of a sudden something out of the ordinary happens. These guys got to do what they got to do.
Just don't fall, Dave. You don't need any medevacs in the middle of all this.
Could be going out and landing close to the water to pick someone up on the skids of a helicopter, or landing on top of a building, or whatever it may be. So I guess the egos are a good thing because these guys, they want to constantly prove themselves to be a good pilot, so they stay on top of things. One of the first commanding officers of the unit was named Gus Crawford. He was in the unit in the 30s and the 40s. He was the first commercial helicopter police pilot in the United States because he was here when we got the first helicopter. He went to the factory school. He was the first guy they cut out with a police helicopter license. So he's been flying a long time.
In 1947, I was sent up by the city of New York to Bell Helicopter School in Niagara Falls to get a license to fly a helicopter because I was the only one in the city who knew aviation, being the head of the aviation police in New York City. So they wanted somebody who knew what helicopters were because they were brand new and what they could do and what they couldn't do.
In addition to those already in manufacture, new models are constantly being developed. Their present usefulness forecasts the limitless utility of this modern magic carpet in the expanding pattern of civilization.
The best pilot couldn't get in a helicopter and fly it, until he was taught how to fly it because it has no feel, it doesn't fly like an airplane, and the fact that you don't need any wind over the wings to make you fly, because you can take off and fly backwards and sideways and just sit there with no airspeed at all. And this is what used to scare the pilots. You'd start to slow down and they're looking at the airspeed and it comes from 60 to 50 to 40 to 30. And they get nervous. They think we're going to stall and crash, which you would in a plane, And you bring it down to 20 and settle it down and then land backwards. Oh, they couldn't get over that.
Disorderly jet skiers in most of the bathing areas, posing a hazard to the bathers, so we're going to go out and make sure they're not doing that. Jet skis used to be very, very rare in these parts just because of the climate. It seems that everybody now has gone out and bought these things, and they're very, very loosely regulated, so people without any type of safety training whatsoever are jumping on, starting up, and doing whatever they want with them. What we normally do is we'll overfly the area at altitude. We'll have the Harbor Patrol start already, coming into the area. They all have registration numbers on them. We'll jot them down before we let them know we're looking at them. We'll order them to shore or to cut their engines over the loudhailer, and the Harbor Patrol will come in and they'll sight them actually. We're basically acting as a witness and to help corral them.
280 horsepower Lincoln Mark 8. Tempted?
Most people would jump at the chance. 10 days in South America. But I've done this before. I knew better.
¿Dónde está el teléfono?
This was business, and I was 5,000 miles from home. There was a lot at stake, and I was on my own. Trying to keep my bearings, trying to negotiate, sometimes just trying to communicate. All the while hoping to pull this whole thing off as soon as possible so I could head back.
6-7 million pesos to your bottom line over the next 5 years.
Yeah, I'm sorry, honey. It's gonna be another day.
My father asked.
You know, it's funny, being away so long. When you come across something familiar, it can be a pretty welcome sight.
Going home, Mr. Reynolds?
I'm halfway there.
Don't take off the helmet because it's not over yet. Beginning tomorrow, how do you feel about technology? How do you feel about firepower? From Vietnam to the Gulf War, fly the most dangerous skies on Earth with some of the most awesome machines ever built.
Roger that.
Suit up and climb aboard. Chopper Power. Beginning tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world. Explore.
Coast Guard aviation itself really became firmly established in the late 30s when a number of Coast Guard air stations' permanent facilities were built. And that's when Air Station Brooklyn was built, here at Floyd Bennett Field, 1938. Our responsibilities include search and rescue, maritime law enforcement, marine environmental protection, and we have 102 people assigned to the air station, of which 18 are pilots.
I'm like first generation from Italy, so it's, you know, my father and all his family were born there, so coming here and you know, showing him flying, it's hard for him to understand. Like my grandfather especially, he's 80, and trying to explain to him that I'm flying helicopters, he still doesn't, you know, grasp the whole concept. I fly over their house once in a while when I'm doing a certain mission, and I get to look down and see where I grew up, and they're always like, oh, that's my son, you know, it's like, and they still don't understand I'm actually flying. I think I'm just sitting in the seat for the ride, you know, he can't be actually flying this thing.
Hey, good morning, Kate. This is 6595 off Floyd Bennett.
Our duty section's about 12 people. You have the 2 pilots and 1 crewman and a rescue swimmer. We call them ducks. And then you have a half dozen or so flight mechanics who are here to move the aircraft, to service the aircraft, to make sure that it's ready to go. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The Coast Guard is a way of life. I think the Coast Guard, because of the type of work that we do, draws a certain type of person. It draws somebody who wants action and wants to be in an armed force, but does humanitarian work. It draws a person with a good, healthy measure of compassion.
Speed's good to open up if you want. Cabin door open. Let's go. Roger. I guess I wanted to fly since I was a kid. I had a great uncle that I went flying with when I was very young. He was like the 52nd pilot to get a license in the United States. I started my military career in the Army. I wanted to fly for the Army, and I did that for 6 years, and then switched over to the Coast Guard. All my flight time is in helicopters. Our most valuable thing that we provide as an aircraft asset is we're the eyes for the surface fleet, the Coast Guard cutters that are out here. And probably one of the most valuable things we do is pass where the concentrations of the vessels are. Then they know that they can concentrate on that area to do their boardings.
We are a federal agency, which means that we'll cover everything offshore. We enforce international laws such as drug smuggling and pirating and so forth. But I guess the majority of the time is spent on law enforcement such as fisheries.
We just marked this down as a concentration of 1, 2, 3, 4.
What do you want to do? Just put it on the remarks concentration that all that long?
Yeah, sounds good.
Roger.
We've kind of found a concentration here, and the way that information might be useful is if we had a Coast Guard cutter decide to head over this way in order to do their boardings. They may be in a part of the ocean right now where there is nobody, so we're able to tell them where their targets are.
When I get these guys, I'm going to put them up on 16 on FM, okay? And then I'm going to ask them what they're fishing for. If they say multi-species scalp, I'm going to ask them for the data C number, the master's name, that last the next port of call. All right, okay? Okay. Yeah, Ambassador is Coast Guard helicopter. Good afternoon, sir. I'd like to know if you're fishing multi-species or not.
No, I'm fishing for sea scallops, sir.
Ambassador is Roger, Sea Scout. Sir, do you have a dated C number, please?
Dated C number. 05211251.
Days at Sea program is a program that's allowing them to track the number of days they fish, and each person issued so many days to fish, and when they go over that number, they know that they're in violation. So it's basically scalpers and multi-species fishermen that are offshore here in the Atlantic.
Ambassador, Roger, have a good day and good luck fishing.
Coming up on the fishing vessel in the call. Hilo spotted it, called down, said might want to board the vessel. Once we get on board, we'll check all his paperwork, and we'll check his catch to make sure it's all legal size. If I could just go ahead and see all your paperwork, sir, that'll be great. We're here to make sure you're in compliance with all federal law, sir. It's all in order.
Protecting species from overfishing is just one of the growing environmental roles the Coast Guard plays. One minute we may be checking on water pollution from a factory, and then the next we'll be looking for survivors from a ditched aircraft.
I looked for a down aircraft in Cape May once, offshore. It disappeared off the radar, and they were talking to the guy. It was nighttime. And they never found it, but the insurance company, I guess.
National Handling Coast Guard. This is Fire Island Coast Guard 16, sir. Go ahead.
They hired a salvage team, and they actually located the aircraft and brought it up, and like 6 months later, and there were human remains in it. It was real sad. It was the guy, his girlfriend, and his 2 children. They fell from like 12,000 feet, so can you imagine the hell that guy was going through?
The Coast Guard really is a multi-mission organization. I mean, on an average day, the Coast Guard assists some 328 people, inspects 64 commercial vessels, seizes 378 pounds of narcotics, interdicts 176 illegal immigrants, and will save 14 lives. I'm very proud of that.
Don't take off the helmet, because it's not over yet. Beginning tomorrow, how do you feel about technology? How do you feel about firepower? Chopper power. Beginning tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the Discovery Channel. Explore.
280 horsepower Lincoln Mark 8. Tempted?
The power, very high powered.
The power of the Phantom is phenomenal.
Presenting the most powerful Phantom vacuum cleaner ever, the Phantom Thunder.
It almost looks like your carpet shampoo.
The secret to all this powerful cleaning is the Phantom Vacuum's patented dual cyclonic action. 2 cyclones of non-stop power, driven by a 12-amp 2-stage motor, devour any dirt in its way. And there's another secret you'll love about the Phantom Thunder: no bags. Instead of those messy, power-robbing filter bags that can start to clog up the minute they start to fill up, the Thunder gives you continuous full power and a clear collection bin that's easy to empty.
It's great. You don't have to change any bags. You don't have to buy bags.
The Phantom Thunder is amazingly versatile. Watch, press a button, and go from upright to cleaning wand. It's 2 machines in one. And all that power and handy onboard accessories mean dust and dirt can't hide anywhere. The Thunder is tough on dirt, easy on you.
Phantom does everything. A room can be cleaned quickly, top to bottom, furniture, ceilings, walls, with one piece of equipment.
And because we know how much you care about the air your family breathes, the Phantom Thunder has a certified HEPA filter on its exhaust. It captures even minute dust and household allergens that other vacuum cleaners could throw back in the air.
And I've noticed a great change in my breathing.
The Phantom Thunder is big on power, long on versatility, with a certified HEPA filter for cleaner air and no bags. Don't wait a minute longer to find out more about the incredible 12-amp Phantom Thunder. Call now for a free video and brochure on how to get more vacuum cleaning power without ever using filter bags again. There's no obligation and nothing to lose but dust, dirt, extra work, and changing filter bags. Call now, and more power to you.
As for your so-called garden variety snake, most of them actually hang out on your lawn, hence the term snake in the grass.
Snake facts, not snake fiction. Be the ultimate expert. Watch The Ultimate Guide to Snakes next Sunday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, only on the Discovery Channel.
Oh, look, tally-ho, 9 o'clock. Yeah, it looks like a fire here on the side of Staten Island. We're going to check it out. Oh, whoa, yeah. It's smoking, whatever it is. Yeah, that's a fire. Is it a car? It is. Staten Island's on fire.
Can we show it to Matt? Can we show him that fire? I'd like to use the fire as the bump in. It'll be like a news story. Okay?
You want to come up on a call?
Yeah, let's show it to him.
No stinger? All right, Keith, no music coming back in. We'll come up on the chopper.
That's perfect. Just nice and tight on it.
That's Mike, okay?
Did you change your
Yeah.
No. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Well, why don't they do that then?
Yeah.
Tight on
Okay,
the fire
Phantom.
and tilt up to show
tight
that.
on the fire to
Make
pull.
sure that
tight on the
Matt
fire
knows that.
to
We're going to
pull.
tilt up and show the house.
Man, they're gonna go from the fire.
This is, it could end up like...
Well, this isn't that big a deal. We can spot fires and incidents before somebody else can, and we can try and bring in breaking news. We can try and bring it to them before somebody else can find out about it. Like that fire, we're on the scene, hopefully, before anybody else even knows about it. There's nobody there. This fire, I mean, I don't know what started it or what set it, but with nobody there, it could burn up the side of that hill, and who knows what can happen there. If the winds keep blowing that way, it'll become a really good story when those houses start on fire.
You can't yank and bank, you can't bend the sky like, you're up there in a fighter. You have to provide for the shot. That's why they pay us, all right? And the story is on the ground, it's not in the air.
We don't do anything stupid. We've been flying together a long time.
We'll go out and try it, and if it's smart, we'll go. If it's not smart, we go back.
If I feel uncomfortable, we stay on the ground. If he feels uncomfortable, we stay on the ground.
We're not saving lives. We're just kind of telling the story. We don't want to be the story.
Crew, we have a Bambi bucket job. There's a brush fire on the Bell Parkway. 412 crew, respond to the flight line. Set up the Bambi buckets. 206 crew, respond to the flight line and stand by for the fire chief.
45 knots. Okay. I got the fire in sight.
I can push it 90 more. Go ahead, I'm with you.
The brush was very dry because we had a rather lengthy dry spell, and with the wind gusting about 20 knots, it was fanning it very rapidly, so it was pretty hard to keep up with, which is one of the reasons why they called us in.
The wind's picking up and it's carrying it across the whole area here. The police department, they have the helicopters to drop 250 gallons of water down. And it's to our advantage because they're able to get quicker, faster, and deeper without putting anybody in danger.
Once the fire department decides they want us to assist them, they send a battalion chief down, who's one of their higher-ranking officers. We'll board him onto one of our observation helicopters, usually a Jet Ranger or a Long Ranger, and they'll circle the scene, and the battalion chief will decide where he wants us to make the drops. Any kind of hovering operation, the crew chief will take over the communications, and he'll direct the pilot where he wants him to go to make the pickup. The bucket's basically hanging below the fuselage, so it's completely out of sight of both pilots. So the crew chief basically has to strap himself in and hang out the door.
I'm coming around into the wind. Billy, should tighten up on your hoist hook. It's really flopping around there.
Okay, about 20 feet, 10 feet. Okay, you're touching water now. Slow it up. Slow it up. Okay, back it up. 5, 4. Okay, hold it there. Come on up slowly.
And PD and Coast Guard is on the go back.
Come forward 5. Come to the left. Come to the left and forward 5.
Water really soft.
Okay. Get 50 feet.
Okay, right here. Up to the left. Up to the left.
Up to the left?
Yeah,
okay.
that one.
Okay.
Straight ahead.
Okay, that's it.
Hey, you got some trees over here, too.
Just let me know if I'm clear of those trees. I come to the left of here. Okay, hold it. Okay, hold on, Ben, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, release.
The first couple of drops are usually kind of trial and error because we're feeling out the altitude and the wind direction. Like today, with the heavy wind, we realized we had to take it a little lower and slow it up a little more because the wind was just blowing the water all over the place. It was so gusty.
10-4.
Okay, 3-3 to 5-8. Did you copy that?
Another drop at the same location. Okay, be advised, there's personnel in the area of the fire on the north side of the burn.
.169, is that you up on the ridge? All right, Steve, get out of there. They're going to come right in there again for a second drop.
They're about 100 yards to my left.
Yeah, well, 100 yards is no good for the chopper. He'll hit you.
Okay, release, release, release. Release, release, release.
You're getting all kinds of heavy-duty heat coming off that fire, and especially today we have to get a little lower, so creates all kinds of thermals, which gives you a little turbulence as you're coming in, and you're going through smoke. You have to make sure once you have your references, you just hold your position as you're flying because you might lose sight of the ground. You got to scan your instruments and outside, and pick alternate references.
Hold on.
Make sure you're staying on course.
Okay. Release. Go. Release. Good one. Okay, that was a good one. Excellent. Up and left. Okay. Good hit, they said. Good hit, guys.
All the observers on the scene, they said we had about a 90% hit rate, which is pretty good. I mean, and probably that 10% was probably the first couple of drops, but it went very well. We extinguished it pretty rapidly, and I think they were pretty grateful to have that available to them.
You driving, big guy?
The Nissan Quest. Finally, a minivan the whole family likes to drive.
One dog ear equals 7 human ones. Well, computers are like that compared to other machines. A 7-year-old airplane is younger than a 1-year-old server. It makes buying decisions tough. It turns systems into orphans way too soon. Computer people ought to be sensitive to that. No matter how great the new stuff is, it should work with, even optimize their old stuff. Digital does it. Everybody should.
Digital. Whatever it takes.
Don't take off the helmet because it's not over yet. Beginning tomorrow, how do you feel about technology? How do you feel about firepower? From Vietnam to the Gulf War, fly the most dangerous skies on Earth with some of the most awesome machines ever built. Suit up and climb aboard. Chopper Power. Beginning tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
Entertainment excitement is coming at you on HBO and Cinemax. Get in on all the action now. HBO for Hollywood's biggest hits. Boxing, original movies and comedies. Cinemax for the most movies on pay TV.
Add HBO and Cinemax for the price of one for 3 months. Call Warner Cable today.
To demonstrate the uniqueness of a Beauty Rest mattress by Simmons, we're dropping the ball. On the competition, that is. Only Beauty Rest uses individually pocketed coils to help assure you undisturbed sleep, no matter what's rolling around next to you. Beauty Rest by Simmons, the Do Not Disturb mattress. It's coming your way. The Beauty Rest National Truckload Sale. Stop by and pick up a bargain.
Whenever the president or any other VIP comes into the city, the Secret Service flies in our helicopters, and we do the security from the air for these VIPs while they're in town, primarily the president and the vice president.
If we're not dealing with Secret Service trying to lock down the ship, we're trying to deal with the Navy figuring out where the ships are going to go. Fleet Week is an extremely tough week to set up for, and now we've added the President of the United States coming, and that just doubled the intensity, it doubled everything. It's just made it an absolute nightmare. The only way on and off the ship pretty much is going to be by helicopter. And that's what we're doing. We're bringing in the dignitaries, the VIPs, the president. Everyone else is coming in by chopper. My secretary, who should be down there in my office taking care of the bills and calling and ordering things and such, is now up here landing helicopters. We're stretched very thin, and we'll all be glad when it's over, but we're happy that the president is coming here.
Whenever there's someone of the status of the President of the United States in, they put flight restrictions in. Part of our job is to enforce that airspace restriction to make sure that no one, in fact, does overfly it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Men and women of our armed forces gathered here today, and their counterparts from Canada, Mexico, and the United Kingdom who join us on board the Intrepid. First things first, at ease.
Fleet Week is a 8 to 10 day event, and Coast Guard, I mean, we only service here in Manhattan, so Coast Guard takes a big part in the Fleet Week.
4195, Roger. Just be advised, please deploy your person in the water far enough away from the crowd to allow for the drift of our rescue swimmer while we put your person back on your deck. 6595, Roger that.
Good traffic at 12 o'clock coming up this way.
Okay, you can get the door.
Roger.
Was there somebody in the water yet?
Feel the traffic at 1 o'clock also.
He's turning south, clear. Okay, person's in the water,
Roger.
and he's just starting to light his flare. There it goes.
Every year the air station is a big part. You do a lot of search and rescue demonstrations or rescue swimmer demonstrations in the harbor itself, which is basically placing a swimmer in the water and demonstrating survival techniques and so forth.
Check the swimmer.
Second swimmer. Swimmer's ready. Easy forward and right. Easy forward and right. Hold. Position's good.
You can deploy the swimmer.
Roger. Swimmer's away. Swimmer's in the water. Swimmer's okay. Swimmer's at you 3 o'clock. Later we left and back.
Okay, cease command.
Roger, you have fire and survivor. Going off up, Mike.
Okay. Backing up a little bit. Now, rescue checklist part 2 for a basket recovery, please. And let me know when you're ready for to move in for pickup.
Forward 10. Forward 5. Hold, position's good. Basket's going down. Basket's in water. Swimmer's coming up. Swimmer's at the basket. Position's good. Altitude's good. Driver's getting in basket. Easy left. Creeping right. Take the load. Taking the load. Basket clear water. Clear to the left and back. Swimmer's at you 1 o'clock.
Okay, cease command.
Roger that. Back.
And bringing the nose to the right a little bit.
Roger. Proceed. Easy forward right. Easy forward right. Easy forward right. Ooh. Easy right. Basket's on deck. Driver's out of basket.
Okay.
Nice job, fellas.
Yeah, that was super.
That was perfect.
That was almost like we planned it that way.
Really?
Huh?
Go in there, 700 pounds.
just like we knew what we were doing, you know. I can't understand it.
Everything went well so far. We just got to get the president out, and we can all go and take a nap.
Good to see you. Delighted to be here. Thanks.
2/100th of a second. A human eye begins to blink. A hummingbird flicks its wings once. And a sensor in a door frame tells an airbag in a seat to deploy. Because when it comes to your safety, every 100th of a second counts. The 1997 Lexus LS 400.
Condition red. An unwelcome redness along your gum line. Or even worse, a trickle of blood. Should you observe these danger signs, be forewarned. It may be the gum disease, gingivitis. Gum disease is caused by germs. Listerine kills them. It's the brand, the only brand clinically proven to help prevent gingivitis. Kill those germs. Better dead than red. The power of prevention. Listerine.
Don't take off the helmet, because it's not over yet. Beginning tomorrow, how do you feel about technology? How do you feel about firepower? From Vietnam to the Gulf War, fly the most dangerous skies on Earth with some of the most awesome machines ever built. Suit up and climb aboard. Chopper Power. Beginning tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world. Explore.
As for your so-called garden variety snake, most of them actually hang out on your lawn, hence the term snake in the grass.
Snake facts, not snake fiction. Be the ultimate expert. Watch The Ultimate Guide to Snakes next Sunday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, only on the Discovery Channel.
I started off as a mechanic in the unit, and I did that for approximately 4 years. And then what happened, you get the flying itch. So I went out to the airport and got my fixed wing license, and then they transitioned me over to the helicopters. The job we do is a little unsafe sometimes, the risk we have to take flying low and things like that. But the maintenance part of it is on the up and up, and that keeps the aircraft flying good. There are certain components in the aircraft that keep the aircraft flying. You have the main rotor head, the main rotor blades, the engine, tail rotor blades. Those items that if they do fail, you're going to have to look for a landing spot immediately. If you do lose your main rotor blades, chances are you're going to die in the aircraft. No pulling to the curb on that. The area we're flying in, New York area, is a corrosive area as far as the salt water and as far as you wouldn't think the pollution in the air would matter, but it does. It erodes the engines, erodes the components. So a new ship every 10 years to 12 years is good. And they're supposed to get a new 412 EP model, a Bell 412. The new one is probably $4.5 million.
Okay, and if you get down to the wire where they're telling you we want an answer right now, get back to me, and if we'll do what we got to do. But as I say, I don't think we'll have a problem. I think this should hopefully speed it up. Okay? Okay, Bill. Bye now. 40 ships.
Yeah.
That's a lot of helicopters. If we don't get this pushed through now, we're not going to see helicopters for a long time. This paperwork has consistently gotten log jammed in different places, which is the price of dealing with a bureaucracy such as New York City, but hopefully we're at the end of the line now, but Bell has told us we have to get a definite commitment in the next couple of days. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to hold that ship for you, and we've already cut a deal with a foreign government for 40 helicopters, which means that if we don't come up with a purchase order in the next couple of days, they're going to give our helicopter away. The next helicopter they can commit to us would be sometime next year.
I was very young at the time. I was like 16 or 17. I used to come down. I used to ride my bike on a job I had on the beach in Rockaway. And every time I'd come down here, I used to pass this hangar. I said, well, you know, that may be a pipe dream, but I'd really get a kick out of doing that one day. Here I am 15 years later. Well, just about 15 years later. And I'm really doing it. So when I say it's a dream come true, it really is. That's why I say. I expect someone to wake me up one day and tell me, you're not really doing this. You're an accountant working in a boring office building. Pilots by nature are very goal-oriented. And I guess you can say I fall well within that profile because I'm constantly trying to attain something, whether it be career-wise or personal life. I always have something going on project-wise. One thing about weightlifting, it's a lot like flying in a lot of ways. It's a real discipline. And it's not how much you lift, but it's how you lift it. And it requires a lot of patience. Flying's the same way in terms of patience. You know, results come with exposure.
Once you go up flying, it's like the guy who moves his house to the top of the mountain for the best view. Once you're flying and you're up, you're always on top of the mountain. And you can take that mountain and move it anywhere you want to move it because you're flying.
Simon Cyrus Fellows, Rowley, RC Rescue 12, Gunther. Number 3, Herman. Number 3, do a patrol at midnight. You have to throw a night sun on there. Steve Jordan. Yeah. Co-pilot RC Rescue, Rich Trochet. Crew Chief RC Rescue. Chip in, close out the books. Gunther send over the recap in the morning. Rowley at 11, Ruprecht at 1, or when you get back from that patrol, Velez at 3, Jordan at 5. Questions, comments? Everybody know what they're doing? Everybody squared away?
It's like pumping tar in this plane.
Now that it's dark out, we start using some pieces of equipment, some high-tech, some low-tech, that really allow us to command the night. The most high-tech being the forward-looking infrared. We call it the FLIR. The FLIR operator usually sits in the left seat of the aircraft. We have a 10-inch TV screen and a hand controller here. The hand controller allows us to magnify, pan, move the module left and right, in and out. Also change the polarity where we can look at something either it's white hot or black hot, depending on the type of background the target has. You have to remember, the FLIR does not see light, it sees heat. Shining a light, such as your normal flashlight, won't register at all in the FLIR, not whatsoever. However, it will pick up a heat signature, such as my hand's been sitting on this glass now for a few minutes. If I pull it away, you'll probably see a very, very nice image of it.
Hot and sour soup. What do you guys ordered? What is this? Somebody ordered something big. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the aviation unit. Dinner is now served.
This is rice, more rice.
I don't know what yours looks like.
I have mine. It's in the oven. It is ready.
This might be.
Let's go. We got a motorcycle pursuit coming down from the Bronx.
information, they'll switch over to the precinct radio, try and pick up on where they were last seen, get a description of them if they're on foot, and then they'll start looking from their vantage point to see if they can spot them running. And sometimes they'll be able to spot them, and then they'll just direct the ground units into wherever they are.
Within 2 minutes, we were on our way up to the Bronx. By the time we were airborne, they were already over the bridge into Brooklyn. They dumped the bikes and bailed off into a housing project. We got a nice tight perimeter established, and then we directed the ground units to what buildings we thought the suspects might be in.
No matter how minor the crime, the field police officers operating in the street is an ever-present danger of having debris thrown from rooftops on them. As a matter of fact, in the summer of 1993, up in Manhattan here, there were officers in the street towing away illegally parked vehicles. Somebody didn't like the idea of that, went up on a roof and threw a bucket of plaster down, killed a police officer. So no matter how minor the situation is, if you have officers congregating in the streets, we make it our business to cover the rooftops. And just our presence overhead, sometimes shining a nightlight on the subject vehicle, will deter them from doing something they might have done to the officer, either an assault or fleeing, because they know if they commit an assault, we're going to get them, or if they simply flee, we're going to get them. I've gotten some very, very dirty looks from people on pursuits. I literally had somebody who was engaged in a foot pursuit with officers from the 103rd Precinct last summer look over his shoulder and give me a not too complimentary hand gesture right as they were putting the handcuffs on him. Sort of made my day. Sometimes you will see a suspect getting away from the officers, and many times you really wish you could land the helicopter and get out and do something, but then again you negate the entire advantage of the helicopter. Unless we're up here and we're high, we might as well be down there in a radio car. So if we're up and about, there's really nothing that's too minor for us to take a look at. You really can't measure the amount of things we prevent, but nice to know we're up here sometimes.
We've had, on occasion, some cemetery vandalism. And a cemetery, as you might imagine, is quite difficult to patrol on the ground because it's such a large area, and at nighttime there's no lights inside, so it's very difficult. If we know someone's going to be in an area we're looking to make an apprehension, we'll do a covert flight where we can do it at a high altitude and utilize the FLIR, and they'll never even know we're there. The night sun, we solve two problems. We can go in and take a look at what's going on, and in addition, we send a message. Between the noise of the helicopter and everybody seeing the night sun, they realize there's a lot of different tools the police are using out there. It's not just the cop in the corner they have to worry about. It's the cop in the sky as well.
Officers were in pursuit of two motorcycles doing 150 miles an hour. They're wanted for assault on a police officer. When the pursuit got a little bit too hazardous to the public, the pursuit was terminated, but we continued in because the last spot they saw was in a housing project, mingling among the buildings. So we did an area search with negative results and came back. Now it's time for cold Chinese food, my favorite. It is still here, I hope.
This presentation of Choppers on Patrol is sponsored in part by the new Dodge. It's about change.
A 3.5-liter V6, 214 horses, four-wheel independent touring suspension, an advanced electronic system, 16-inch wheels and tires, and the responsiveness of AutoStick. In case you're wondering just how well a Dodge Intrepid Sport handles, consider this your walkthrough. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything. See your friendly Dodge dealer today and get up to $1,500 cash savings on Intrepid.
When you see that 2,000% a year internet growth rate, you want to just jump in. Thing is, the internet can help you gain or lose a lot of customers very quickly. If you disappoint someone, they can tell a few friends or a few thousand. It makes it crucial to work with a computer company that has experience helping people do business on the net. Not to mention the world's fastest servers, like Digital.
Digital. Whatever it takes.
7 nights a week. Miss a night and you miss a lot. Wild Discovery 7 nights a week. You've gotta see this on the Discovery Channel. Explore. Don't take off the helmet because it's not over yet. Beginning tomorrow, how do you feel about technology? How do you feel about firepower? From Vietnam to the Gulf War, fly the most dangerous skies on Earth with some of the most awesome machines ever built.
Roger that.
Suit up and climb aboard. Chopper Power. Beginning tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
The incredible bedding blitz is on in Nationwide Mattress and Furniture Warehouse. Selling starts today. We have bunk beds starting at $68. This mate's bed in wine room finish just $99. Four-piece bedrooms start at $188. We have over 15 bedrooms to choose from. Mattresses starting at $18, 12-inch piece. First come, first served. With our same-day delivery, you can buy it today, sleep on it tonight. Free layaway. At Nationwide Warehouse, 2 locations in Columbus and 1 in Heath. Nationwide Warehouse.
Mario, Yager, Francis, Barrasso, dominance, skill, drive. The Pens are back. Can't get to the game? Catch up to 60 regular season games that are available on Warner Home Theater Sports Network, Channel 71. Don't miss the action.
Are you seeing this about bombs on the scene at Newark Airport?
Chopper 4? What you got?
Bomb squad on the scene for a reported second package. Are you seeing that?
No, but
Donovan, this is Tom.
I think you should get over there.
No, they're having trouble getting information, and we're kind of reluctant to ask the tower directly for fear that they might kick our butts out.
6B Chopper 4?
Yeah, go ahead.
Landline, please. 3395.
3395. Okay, thanks.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so, basically, turn off your microphone because I don't want this going out over the air.
Okay, microphone's off.
Okay, this is, something exploded in a bag at the Air France terminal.
Air France, Steve.
I'd love to see what the picture looks like out there.
Okay.
Okay, so do your best, get out there. We might even switch over to Long Island repeater if your signal continues to break up and stuff.
Newark departure frequency 135.9. Good day now.
American 1193,
Runway 152, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway 22 right. Delay 31, follow Air Jamaica, who's way downfield, monitor 19-1, good day.
where we are, Newark, when they bring the commuters in, they bring them right over top of the tower cap. So at 500 feet above us, if I'm at 1,000, you got a big commuter plane, coming right at us.
I am wide. That's wide. This is wide.
I'm trying to get us clearance into someplace that nobody really wants us to be, because everybody wants to be there.
Just tell me off the aircraft where it is. Right here. Oh, okay. Jeez. There you go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, go with the bomb truck around it. You got a bomb truck? Yeah, the white truck.
Hey, we like your shot. Can we use it for a bump it coming in the next block?
That's a bomb truck? I don't know. Looks like a bomb truck. What does it say? It says bomb truck.
You're watching NBC4.
Thanks, Charlie. Tonight we begin with a painful and painstaking process of... Give me a communication on the line. Hey, Donovan, we need to get... I need a communication with them.
Hey, Steve, have a Skycam ready because they're having they got like a marginal signal, okay?
Okay, give me something.
Looks like a bomb guy. Looks like a bomb guy to me.
Oh, how about that?
Where's he at? Straight ahead? Yeah. Okay. You see this guy, Donovan?
Yeah. Here's what we've got. It's at the International Building, which Air France uses, so I'm not sure if it was an Air France, so it's not really an Air France terminal, okay? It's got a bag that is blown open on a conveyor belt. No injuries. Essex County Bomb Squad is on the scene, so it was inside the International Building.
You sure it was in a terminal?
Okay, that's what I was told, on a conveyor belt in a terminal.
Okay. Okay.
Guys.
Bye.
You come up to the top of the block.
Bye. Well, I think we got the story of the day. No competition. There is nobody here but us.
No competition yet? We like this.
Chopper's up and ready.
Ready for a report here, right?
Yeah.
All right, coming back to 3 on that, and then we'll go after the chopper also.
Okay, Chopper.
What about New Jersey? You want to roll hot?
Yeah, why not? If they're ready, let's do it.
That's it.
Okay, stand by and we'll hear you from here, okay? We're going to do Chopper first and then we'll come to you. So Chopper, you will do this report and you'll roll your own tape in?
I'll tell you what, I'll try to use a
Okay,
chopper.
don't worry, we'll just go with this then. You'll be fine.
Seeing out of this review, he did not have any suspensions.
It is Matt.
The battle package is going to be routed through RS-8 microwave 15. You got it? Okay.
Got it.
Ready for. Stand by, chopper.
Be natural, have fun, you have as much time as you need to tell the story, okay?
This just in, there's been some sort of explosion in Newark, New Jersey. Let's go to Tom Frick and Chopper 4.
So we're live over Newark Airport. We have a report of an explosion in a bag coming off of a conveyor belt off of an airplane at the International Arrivals Terminal. We have an Air France plane on the ground. Essex County Bomb Squad is currently on the scene, investigating the scene. They have removed all the bags from the aircraft itself. What we do know is that a bag has been found. There was a bag. It exploded approximately a small pump and an explosion approximately 150 feet away from the airplane itself. The bag, Port Authority and officials say they do know the identity of the person who does own the bag. As you can see, dogs sniffing additional bags in the airport. However, they are gathering additional details, and we'll keep you updated as we do get more information. Live over Newark Airport, I'm Tom Frick. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, Tom, thank you very much. This was...
Very impressive, sir. Nice job. But it makes you look like you're being a journalist up there.
Yeah, it was messy.
The joke, Chopper. Laugh.
Okay. Are we still here for the rest of the show, or what's the deal? Okay.
You're clear.
So go home?
Correct. You're going home.
Okay, we're out of here.
Head on home. Why don't you actually head to go get fuel or whatever you need to do, and talk to the desk on your way home, okay?
Sure enough.
Nice job. You guys are now the lead of the 6 O'Clock show. Boy, that's pretty impressive.
I love news. I'm a newsman. And I'm also a pilot. For a journalist and for a pilot, there's no better job in the world.
We got to put the helicopter away, clean it up, so it's ready to go.
that's about it. We go home, unwind, try to relax, and do it again tomorrow.
It has the most powerful gas and diesel engines of any full-size pickup. It has the most available payload and towing. It has the roomiest cab of all, and better resale value than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. It's the truck that wrote a whole new rule book, now available in a leather-bound edition. Dodge Ram. The rules have changed.
237 on the ground, gate 15.
All right, guys, we got a 34-minute turnaround on this one. Let's do it.
It can be 5 below zero or coming down in buckets. It doesn't matter. It doesn't buy you another second out here. From the minute that plane touches down to the minute it takes off, we're on.
Let's get a few more tugs on 815.
The whole crew. And there's no time to waste. But time isn't everything. Getting the job done right is.
Okay, I'm locking up the line.
So everybody pulls their weight. Everyone knows the drill. And we realize passengers don't really see this.
Have a lead bag on your way, Bob.
No problem, Jerry. I'll take care of it.
Heck, it's a rare moment when they see us at all. But not a second goes by that we're not looking out for them.
479er coming in 11 minutes early, Bob.
Don't take off the helmet because it's not over yet. Beginning tomorrow, how do you feel about technology? How do you feel about firepower? Chopper power. Beginning tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the Discovery Channel.
As for your so-called garden variety snake, most of them actually hang out on your lawn, hence the term snake in the grass.
Snake facts, not snake fiction. Be the ultimate expert. Watch The Ultimate Guide to Snakes next Sunday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, only on the Discovery Channel.
Two kids in the water, one came up, one didn't.
Confirm child in the water, Madison Avenue.
Okay, we got 100%. Everything in the green. Okay.
On exterior and 138 front side.
Coming up. Falling.
What goes through your mind when you on the way there is where you're going to set the divers down, whether they're going to jump, and if you can't set the divers down, you have to look for a spot now. You're always getting information over the radio, whether it's our central dispatcher or our base radio or a marine radio. Everything gets put together en route.
Sorry, the two kids are under the bridge at this time? And both of them?
We had a definite submersion at this location. That's a definite submersion at this location. Got one male child underwater.
In fact, they only have one of the children at this time.
What 30 is that?
1:30.
You got scuba responders confirmed, Central. We got a kid here saying his friend didn't come up.
All right, scuba record. Right, you guys in the vision, you see two kids in the water at this time?
We don't see anything.
All right, 10-4.
We're clear west? Yeah, we're clear. 1200.
Launch, PD-12. Which way's the current running?
There was another one of our other jet rangers was on the scene, and they gave us the only spot we could land in was this railroad bridge that was under construction. It looked as though you couldn't land there. It was just too narrow. It's just a psychological thing that you see these girders sticking up next to you that you're going to hit them, but you just have to put that out of your mind and just do what you have to do when you land.
He's coming under you around 5 o'clock. He's coming right under you. All right, he's out of your way. Hey, I'm opening the door.
Aviation, the current is running north, so I'm trying to get as close to the boat as possible.
Come as close to the boats as you can, Tom. Go further down south, Tom. You want them to jump or what? No, they want to go down south because the current is coming at us. Get down closer to the boats. I want to put it on this thing over here.
What's that?
The pier.
Oh, all right.
What do you think, Tom?
All right, Juan, I'm going to ease over.
All right, watch out.
What do I got then?
You got fireman. Okay.
To your left. All right, straight down, Tom.
All right, can I make it?
Straight down.
Hold it up.
Straight down. Now, I don't think you're going to make it. Come to the right, just a little bit.
All right.
Come right, just a little bit more.
Straight down, Tom.
Straight down. Come right.
Like a dolly.
Straight down.
A little left. Here we go.
You got it. You're on.
Good job.
Okay, 3 to 12. You might as well stay there, and we'll continue the search. Right now, they had 2 children jump off the bridge. One of them came up, and one of them is apparently submerged. Never came up from underneath the water.
You can have 36.
The units on the scene were asking for the scuba divers because they had to go down for a submersion. We weren't going to drop them in the water over here because there's a lot of debris in this water. We weren't going to drop them right from the helicopter. So this is the best spot we could find. Right now the divers are under the water searching, and we also have aviation number 3 overhead searching.
Once the divers were established in their search, they were going to be there pretty much the duration until somebody was found. We were better off being back at our base, Floyd Bennett Field.
Go. They're clear. They're clear of everything. Watch the crane in front of you.
The Jet Rangers stayed on scene because they had the night sun. They were lighting up the area with the night sun. They gave assistance. They even had to come back for fuel, and then they went back to the scene again.
Oh, it's closed and locked.
You got the warning.
Last night they had a report of a child that possibly drowned off the piers in the Bronx. They searched throughout the night with negative results. We picked up this morning where they left off, and fortunately on our first dive, me and my partner Chris found the boy on the bottom. It was in about 20 feet depth, zero visibility, a lot of construction debris on the bottom. It was a pretty hazardous dive, but fortunately for the children's family, and we found them.
Don't take off the helmet because it's not over yet. Beginning tomorrow, how do you feel about technology? How do you feel about firepower? Chopper power. Beginning tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the Discovery Channel. Explore.
There are a lot of compelling reasons for buying a Dodge Ram. A potent line of Magnum engines, the most available towing of any pickup, payload capacity of up to 2.5 tons. But perhaps the weightiest argument is this. Dodge Ram has higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. The rules have indeed changed.
Hi, I'm Gary Collins, and this is my wife, Marianne. And we have a very important question for you.
How well do you sleep?
Do you often toss and turn at night? Does your partner disrupt your sleep? Does your back ache in the morning? Wouldn't you like to put an end to restless nights? We found the answer, and you can too.
It's called the Select Comfort Sleep System, and it's unlike any mattress or waterbed that you've ever tried before.
With its patented dual air chamber design, Select Comfort is the breakthrough in sleep technology that lets you choose the firmness that's ideal for each of you, from feather soft to extra firm, all at the touch of a button. Inner spring coil mattresses can create uncomfortable pressure points, which is one cause of tossing and turning. Waterbeds can cause an unnatural bending of the spine. But research shows that Select Comfort properly supports your spine and can actually help you sleep better, so you wake up feeling energized. Even back pain sufferers can sleep more comfortably.
It seems like all portions of my body are supported at the same time.
I'm not tossing, I'm not turning. I'm waking up feeling refreshed.
I wake up in the morning, I do not have a backache. The Select Comfort mattress has been a lifesaver for me.
Call now and we'll rush you this free Select Comfort video and brochure showing how Select Comfort with dual adjustable firmness can help you fall asleep faster, sleep more soundly, and wake up feeling energized. Plus, we'll offer you our incredible in-home trial, and not just for a few days, but for 90 nights, a full 3 months. Why not pick up the phone and call Select Comfort now?
We know you're going to love waking up to Select Comfort. We do.
Call 1-800-257-2900 for your free video and brochure, including our in-home 90-night trial offer and money-back guarantee. That number again is 1-800-257-2900. That's 1-800-257-2900. Call now.
As for your so-called garden variety snake, most of them actually hang out on your lawn, hence the term snake in the grass.
Snake facts, not snake fiction. Be the ultimate expert. Watch The Ultimate Guide to Snakes next Sunday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, only on the Discovery Channel.
New York, to that tall skyline I come, flying in from London to your dawn. New York, looking down on Central Park, where they say you should not wander after dark. New York, like a scene from all those movies, but you're real enough to me. For there's a heart that lives in New York. New York, you got money on your mind, and my words won't make a dime's worth of difference. But here's to you, New York.
Like I was saying, besides being helicopter pilots, we're all police officers first, and it pays to stay proficient with your weapon. I view this as a little more than someone going bowling or maybe driving a bucket of golf balls. I find it recreational in addition to having to maintain my proficiency for my job. However, if I interrupt a convenience store robbery, this will come in a little bit more handy than hitting golf balls at somebody, I think. My wife's a police officer also, and I guess when the two of us are out to dinner, we're pretty heavily armed.
I've landed in a parking lot of a supermarket one day to help. A cop was in a car chase, and my adrenaline got the best of me. I landed the helicopter, ran out, and chased the guy into a supermarket, and wound up, I handcuffed the guy in the supermarket, ran back out to my helicopter, and took off. So these are the kind of things, it's a funny story, but when I did it after I was airborne for about a minute or so, I said, what the hell did I just do? And I thought that was the end of me, and it turned out to be a plus because I was doing my job. I was doing police work, and I did help another cop.
When I was a duty standing pilot many years ago, one of the things I remember about weekend duties was being able to bring your car in the hangar and clean it. And when I went to headquarters and had other jobs where I wasn't a duty standing pilot later on, the car never was quite so clean, quite so shiny. Weekend duty means that you slide either Monday or Friday, so really it's a work day. I work a bit in the office, and then whatever keeps you relatively amused and non-fatigued for when the whoopee goes off. And I'm really not this tall. I'm standing on a stool.
You guys want to get down deep and dirty? This is what we do after the work is done and we're waiting on the call. We call them homers. Honeydews. Well, this car is actually not mine, it's my wife's. This is a honeydew. I don't get to drive it, I just get to maintain it. And being as the captain's washing this car, I guess that's the code word for go. Now, you see we got guys out there staying in shape, playing a little hockey.
Coming up right now to drop the maintenance guys off here in Ambrose. We do this pretty routinely whenever the light breaks down or just regular maintenance that they have to do.
Ambrose Tower is considered I guess a pinnacle type landing. It's almost like a lighthouse or a fixed light for the approaches into New York Harbor. It's about 150 feet above the water. Now, unfortunately, a few years back, making an approach to Ambrose, one of the helicopters had a problem with the approach, struck the helicopter pad, caused the aircraft to tumble over itself off the pad and plummet, the 100 feet to the ocean. Unfortunately, both pilots were lost. Obviously, it had a big impact on the Coast Guard's family here.
We're heading currently 120. So the winds here and the winds on our hover page coincide. We get an idea how strong the winds are coming, especially when you do pull into a hover. Again, shoot for routes if you want to. Call anybody can here, call wave off, so go ahead if I'm coming in too high, too steep. I'm still uncomfortable. I'm planning for the back of the pad. And Chief, can you let me know when my wheels are over the deck? I'd appreciate it. Roger, sure will do. Roger that.
You're still getting nervous. It's an awkward approach. It's elevated. There's nothing else around it, and it's a small spot to land on, so it's a confined area. So it's a challenge. Involved with flying helicopters. It's a lot different than fixed wing, where you can trim the aircraft up at altitude, put it on autopilot, let it go. Helicopter, you can trim it, but it's always constantly getting out of trim. It's always have to be readjusted and fine-tuned.
All right, we get that on deck call there, Chief. And you can help these guys out when you're ready. Roger. Brooklyn Air 6563. 63 Brooklyn, go ahead. Brooklyn Air 6563. Be advised, we are on deck.
There's a lot involved in every mission we fly. But at the end of the day, each aircraft commander has the final say. Routine missions always need constant concentration. And in extreme weather conditions, it's the pilot's call to go or not to go.
dog year equals 7 human ones? Well, computers are like that compared to other machines. A 7-year-old airplane is younger than a 1-year-old server. It makes buying decisions tough. It turns systems into orphans way too soon. Computer people ought to be sensitive to that. No matter how great the new stuff is, it should work with, even optimize their old stuff. Digital does it. Everybody should.
Digital, whatever it takes.
It seems ironic that trucks so diligently engineered to be quiet would have so much volume. Dodge Ram and Dodge Ram Club Cab, the roomiest pickups on the road. The rules have changed.
Condition red, an unwelcome redness along your gum line, or even worse, a trickle of blood. Should you observe these danger signs, be forewarned. It may be the gum disease gingivitis. Gum disease is caused by germs. Listerine kills them. It's the brand, the only brand clinically proven to help prevent gingivitis. Kill those germs. Better dead than red. The power of prevention. Listerine.
Don't take off the helmet, because it's not over yet. Beginning tomorrow, how do you feel about technology? How do you feel about firepower? From Vietnam to the Gulf War, fly the most dangerous skies on Earth with some of the most awesome machines ever built.
Roger that.
Suit up and climb aboard. Chopper Power. Beginning tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
Full house from Nationwide Warehouse. Get a house full of furniture from only $598. Get a matching sofa and love seat, coffee table, 2 end tables, and 2 designer lamps, plus a bed frame headboard, dresser and mirror, and dining table with 4 chairs. All 16 pieces, only $598. A whole house full of furniture, free layaway, same-day delivery.
At Nationwide Warehouse, 2 locations in Columbus and 1 in Heath. Nationwide Warehouse.
Mario, Yager, Francis, Barrasso, dominance, skill, drive. The Pens are back.
Can't get to the game? Catch up to 60 regular season games that are available on Warner Home Theater Sports Network, Channel 71. Don't miss the action.
Got a confirmation for you. Large explosion 12 miles southeast of Midpoint Park. At updated position 4038 north. 7238 west. Charlie 14 is on scene. There's already a raft in the water. Apparently we're looking for survivors. Got 360s from Cape Cod and 1 Falcon. Numerous National Guard, 60s possibly going en route, and 1 Suffolk C-130 overhead now. All talking on channel 16.
Charlie Green, this is Coast Guard, Rescue 6595, Rescue Dolphin, 1318.
Roger, Rescue C-130. We saw quite a bit of debris. We can see bodies in the water, white
Patrick is on board Chopper 4. Tom, what are we looking at?
We're actually flying over what they call a temporary restricted flying area. You can see some helicopters using searchlights over the areas. We're coming a lot closer. Right now we're about 5 miles away and about close to 6,000 feet above the actual site. You can see all the flashing lights down in the water itself. As we pull out here, just want to show you there's a lot of search boats. You can see flashing a searchlight on an aircraft over here, just off to the left. Appeared to be looking down into the water, just to the eastern end of all of the activity going on.
Thank you, Governor, for joining us tonight. We know you've been on the phone constantly with the FBI, James Kallstrom, the New York director of the Bureau.
We're still primarily searching for survivors. We're not giving up hope that there may be survivors. Miracles do happen.
They didn't die immediately. They died after the plane crashed into the sea.
Cover debris, and we'll recover any type of remains that we find.
On board. We are hearing late tonight that might not have been the case here, that this may have been indeed no accident.
I was at a movie with my girlfriend, and I was paged, and we were literally on the scene within an hour. You could see the flames still swelling up 50 feet to 100 feet in the air, and you could clearly make out a distinct shape of an aircraft. It was an oblong shape with debris scattered around it. You see the bodies, and you don't realize, I mean, you're not aware that, well, you're aware that you're looking at bodies and you're looking at people, but it's just, you're just covering part of a job, and it's not until you see a lot of the personal effects, until you see the clothing, until you see some of the personal effects, the cameras and the luggage, that it actually starts to put a human face on it. And some of the Coast Guard crews we were talking to, you could tell they were very somber when speaking to them.
Flying a helicopter at night over the water with no great deal of illumination is difficult enough in itself. And then the other major concern would be deconflicting the aircraft. At one time I had 10 aircraft that I was controlling before the surface units took over with the traffic control. What I did was I told the Air National Guard guy, I said, how about you search south of the fireball and I'll start a search pattern north of the fireball. That ensured that we would be separated and we wouldn't collide with each other. One of the larger, obviously, disasters that could happen and that you could respond to would be some kind of airliner crash offshore. Tonight it happened. But when you think about those things, you always think, well, you're going to be out there and you're going to get somebody and you're going to bring them home, and that wasn't to be. I guess the nature in which this aircraft came down was violent enough that there probably are no survivors.
That night when I got the phone call that Captain, we have a 747 that just crashed off Long Island, I was dumbfounded for a few seconds. I thought, my God, is this a drill? Are you kidding me? But no, it was a real thing. Okay. What you got?
Hello, Captain. This is what we have so far. This is where the aircraft went down. These are the search areas.
Right here?
Yes, sir. This is what we have planned in searches so far. This is where we found debris. As you can see,
we were being very, very aggressive in our search efforts. People in the water was our primary target from the beginning. And we were going to search until we found everything that could be found on the surface. And we weren't going to stop till that was done. And we held to it. Okay.
6595. With primary tie down, take signal to the LSL. 6595.
ICS check.
5 clear.
My heart goes out to everybody who was involved in the rescue effort. I don't know how long they operated without sleep, picking up some terrible things, and those memories will be etched in their minds forever. That was tough to see that.
Good, release, clear. Okay.
Clear, right?
Clear left. NCS float, center panel's good. All your eyes are on port. Takeoff checks are complete.
There are images that will stay with me, I'm sure, the rest of my life. I know they will.
the nature of a catastrophe of this size is overwhelming to some extent. But I mean, we're very busy in our job. We're very busy looking for the survivors. You kind of go into a mechanical mode somewhat, and so it went very smoothly as far as that went. When it became apparent, and to this point, it doesn't look like there are any survivors, and they haven't recovered any. The next best thing I guess you can do then is at least bring the victims home, so the families have someone to bury and they can kind of bring closure to it. It's sad that that was the best thing that was going to come out of our mission, but it was, and so we had to rely on that. At least we were doing that. I want to specify that at this point the search goes on, and it will. So if there's people out there, we're going to hopefully find them.
This new car is powered by Dodge's 3.5-liter V6, has a four-wheel independent suspension and quick ratio steering, which make it a perfect choice at the Skip Barber Pro Series. Or, if you prefer, it's available in this 5-seater as well. The new Dodge Intrepid Sport. This changes everything. See your friendly Dodge dealer today and get up to $1,500 cash savings on Intrepid.
What's your biggest problem with vacuum cleaners?
I don't like buying filter bags.
I don't think I ever came home with the proper bag.
Every time I had to empty the bag, there was always stuff would come out.
Throw those bags away forever. Introducing the next era in vacuum cleaners, the revolutionary Phantom Fury vacuum. It harnesses the powerful force of the cyclone in a patented process. 2 cyclones of non-stop continuous power devour dirt and deposit it into a clear bin. You can see it working up a storm and easily empty it. No bags to replace, no bags to clog, no bags, period.
With my old vacuum, I used to have to change the bags about a third of the way full to maintain power. With the Phantom Fury, I have full power all the time, and I don't have to hassle with bags.
I pulled up enough hair, dog hair, out of my carpet to make another dog.
It's incredible how fast and how powerful the Phantom vacuum really is.
It's made me feel better about my house being cleaner.
It allows your carpet to last longer, to look better, and to be more sanitary.
The Phantom Fury comes with a state-of-the-art HEPA filter on its exhaust to help protect you and your family from breathing in dust, mold, and pollen.
I'm a nurse, and I really appreciate having the HEPA filter on the Phantom because we use a HEPA filter as a protective mask when we're taking care of patients with active TB.
And you'll love the versatility of the Phantom Fury. 2 machines in one, from upright to cleaning wand. It ferrets out dirt high, low, under, and around. The features of the Phantom Fury are an unbeatable value.
It saves you money.
The quality is phenomenal.
This machine works better than any machine I've ever worked with.
Call now for a free video and brochure. The Phantom Fury vacuum cleans up a storm, and you'll never change a bag again. Call now.
It really is the best vacuum cleaner I've ever used in my life.
I love it. Yeah, it's the best one I've ever had, and I've had some vacuums.
As for your so-called garden variety snake, most of them actually hang out on your lawn, hence the term snake in the grass.
Snake facts, not snake fiction. Be the ultimate expert. Watch The Ultimate Guide to Snakes next Sunday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, only on the Discovery Channel.
Strap yourself in and go behind the scenes in the most dangerous flying machines ever built when you take off with Choppers on Patrol. Now available on home video from Discovery Channel.
It has to be second nature. You don't have time to think about what you're going to do. It's react immediately or it's all over.
24 hours a day, police aviators, Coast Guard personnel, and TV camera crews take to the skies over New York City. See a daring water rescue attempt and watch as suspected criminals are tracked down as light from above exposes their activity below. These are the missions of the men and women who risk their lives every day over the most congested airspace on Earth. Choppers on Patrol puts you in the cockpit for harrowing maneuvers through the skyscrapers of Manhattan and gives you a front row seat for dangerous marine landings. Climb aboard with those who fly these perilous skies when you order Choppers on Patrol. Call now to purchase this riveting home video from Discovery Channel for only $19.95. Call 1-800-520-1717 to order your copy of Choppers on Patrol.
I respect the aircraft a lot more. When I go out there, I feel fear of getting killed. You know, in this unit, I've had a will made. I said I don't want to sound like morbid or anything, but that's a reality in this unit. It's a reality on the street also. But I said that never crossed my mind. I didn't feel invincible, but I felt that my fate was in my own hands. Whereas here, my fate is in the integrity of an aircraft.
I don't think there's too many that dislike the aviation unit. I think we're pretty much the good guys because we're not actually giving anybody summonses and we're not making any arrests. And for the most part, the biggest portion of things we do is to help people. We're looked at sort of like, wow, you know, what a nice job that is, type of deal. And it is a nice job.
Citation to accompany the award of the Distinguished Flying Cross to Lieutenant John R. Knotts, United States Coast Guard. Lieutenant Knotts is cited for extraordinary achievement while participating in aerial flight while serving as aircraft commander aboard Coast Guard helicopter CGNR 6595. The aircrew was engaged in the rescue of 4 hunters stranded, disoriented, and in imminent danger of hypothermia, overcoming the heavy snow squalls which caused limited visibility, winds gusting to 50 knots, and occasional severe turbulence. Lieutenant Knotts expertly navigated the helicopter at night from Air Station Brooklyn to the scene. Lieutenant Knotts' actions, aeronautical skill, and valor were instrumental in the rescue of 4 victims. His courage, judgment, and devotion to duty are most heartily commended and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. Signed, Robert E. Kramek, Admiral, U.S. Coast Guard, Commandant.
I'm told by many people that when they read about this case, they say, you must have had your ace #1 crew on watch that night. But to be perfectly honest with you, I have a whole hangar full of ace #1 people. It's just that opportunity came knocking that night during their watch, and when it did, they were ready. Semper Paratus. This case was indeed one for the books. You know, most of the time this job is so special. I think, my gosh, these people think they have to pay me to do this? But then there's some of those few moments when I think, oh man, they can't pay me enough to do it.
Next, can we live forever? Doctors and researchers may one day break the age barrier. We may never die, but we'd be dependent on pigs for organs. Scientists take on immortality on Discover Magazine, Wednesday on the Discovery Channel.
Your psychic experience.